Hello, welcome to my Japan trip. So this was my graduation trip to Japan, which was my dream vacation. Almost, if not all, of the bathrooms in Japan had bidets, so that's just like where it sprays your butt when you're done, and I thought that was pretty interesting. This is our hotel.
TV. It's very small and quaint, but just 2 beds. My uncle's sleeping here. And then I have this here, so I have like my passport and train pass and stuff. And then this is really cute. There's like, this is where the charging stuff is, and like alarm and phone that they put all above the bed, which is nice. And then they gave us slippers and little like kimono robes to throw on.
Hello, it is day 2 in Japan, and we are going to breakfast somewhere, and then we are going to Shibuya today.
Getting coffee, this little espresso van.
To me, the trains in Japan really highlighted the way that they commute to work every day and just the overall Japanese way of life. Here's some people sleeping on the train. That happened a lot. I kind of wondered how they didn't ever miss their stop. This day we went to Shibuya and Harajuku, which are major shopping hubs in Tokyo. I was surprised to find a lot of vintage shops that kind of marketed themselves as thrift stores. Harajuku was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire trip. I loved looking at all the interesting styles of clothing they had there. And yes, I did make some purchases. I got this dinosaur shirt, a blue skirt. There were so many amazing shoes in Harajuku, and you know that I love my shoes, and it took me a long time to pick which ones I wanted, but I finally chose these strawberry ones. My uncle and I are coffee snobs, so we scoped out a lot of coffee in Tokyo. This was a coffee bar where you actually pick the roast of beans you want, and they will do a drip for you right in front of you.
How many grams of water do you use?
Just 12.
12 per how many grams of coffee?
12 grams.
12 grams coffee. And water?
And 192 grams.
192.
So ratio is 1 to 60.
This coffee bar was called Cafe Mameya, so if you're interested in going, that's what it is. It looks like this building. There's no sign or anything, you just have to kind of find it. It's by Harajuku. We are on a mission to go to 7-Eleven to get dinner. Of course, the convenience stores in Japan are amazing and unlike what we have here in the US. A lot of the time by dinner we were pretty lazy and fatigued from the day, so we would kind of just put together these convenience store dinners that were pretty easy and really delicious as well. To sakura mochi, a seaweed onigiri, and this bean salad. And of course, we also went out to eat. This was actually a pretty funny story. So we found this little alleyway here, and there were some stairs leading down, and it smelled like curry. So my uncle really wanted to go after this curry smell, so we went down this stairway. And the curry restaurant was filled with Japanese business executives, and we weren't sure if we were allowed to eat there, but we were, and we ordered this vegetable curry, and it was just a really fun experience. And this was a giant musical cuckoo clock by our hotel. It is day 2 of Tokyo. I said day 2 yesterday, but it was technically day 1 because the first day we kind of just slept and went to a few convenience stores, but we are out and thriving today. We popped into Diver City to go look at the Gundam statue.
Oh, there's Bumblebee.
This was Skytree, the tallest building in Tokyo. We didn't want to pay for tickets to go up Skytree, but we did look at all the shops and restaurants that were in the mall right next to it. There were lots of things to see other than just shops. There were like museums and science exhibits, and we also saw a robotics exhibition. It is day 3 of Tokyo. This is what I'm wearing. It's like a little yellow and white outfit. Yeah, day 3. So the vending machines have hot drinks. So all of the ones that have like the blue are cold and the red ones are hot. So I just got this coffee and it's a hot coffee out of a vending machine. Another food highlight of this trip was the Shojin Ryori inspired cuisine that we ate. So that's food based on temple food that monks eat, so it's all plant-based. This restaurant was called Brown Rice and it was in Shibuya. The lemon tofu cake was amazing. If you order your drink with soy milk, they give you this card just to avoid any confusion when you're picking up your drink, which I thought was really neat. Meguro was absolutely incredible, and the cherry blossoms were beautiful. We watched them at one of the viewing parties and ate street food. Dango, which is mochi on a stick, was so good. Sanrio Pearland. This dude right here was doing a street performance, but my phone is about to die and I lost my uncle, so I didn't finish watching the whole thing. I don't know what he actually was planning on doing in the end. About halfway through the trip, we moved out of our hotel and moved into this Airbnb in a more rural area of Tokyo. This whole room was a bathtub, shower, and drying area. It's almost impossible to be walking around Japan and not find a temple. We saw a few and loved looking at all the little things like these deities that we saw, hats. also went to Tokyo Tower, which is basically Tokyo's version of the Eiffel Tower. In the mornings, I kind of made a ritual of walking to Tully's Coffee, and Tully's Coffee was almost like Starbucks, so it's like a chain coffee place. We saw hedgehog cafes, owl cafes, cat cafes, dog cafes, you name it. And this was a karaoke house, which we didn't do, but a lot of tourists do it when they go to Japan. This was the only rainy day we experienced in Tokyo. This was a convenience store breakfast I had, so an apple, which are so crunchy and delicious there, and a soy milk smoothie, and some granola. Then, on our last day in Japan, we waited in this super long line, even though we pre-booked tickets, to go see a art exhibit. It was a digital art exhibit. And this was the part of the trip where I started getting a little emotional because this was my dream vacation since I was about 4 years old. And the fact that I was there and experiencing everything that Japan had to offer, it was just so amazing, and I was so grateful that I had the opportunity to visit at such a young age.